Nick, why don't you tell us a bit about Leyden's approach to partnering with local business?
Sure, Doug. I'd be happy to. First of all, thanks for having us on today. This is a great honor and privilege for us. Leyden, our school district, is near O'Hare Airport in suburban Chicago, and we have one of the largest hubs of manufacturing in the country within our school district. So there are many, many, many manufacturing companies nearby. And as a school district, you know, we have to realize that we don't exist in a vacuum. We don't just have our buildings where we are and we do our things and then that's it. We need to understand the interrelated relationship we have within our community. I always refer to it as kind of a symbiotic relationship with our business community. When our schools thrive and when we are responsive to the needs of our community and we provide a ready workforce, that means our businesses are going to thrive, which in turn strengthens our tax base, which then strengthens our school districts, and it's kind of a cycle that happens. And so as a school district, we need to understand that there's a huge manufacturing population, there's a huge need for workers and sustainable workforce. And so we can either choose to ignore that or we can embrace it and build it into our programming so that what we're doing is strengthening not only opportunities for our students, but strengthening the community as a whole. And so that's really what this is about today. I think our conversation is about how we're doing this with our partners. And we're going to talk primarily about manufacturing, but this relationship is echoed through many different career pathways that, again, are kind of responsive to our local community.
Great. Anyone else want to comment before we go on? Okay. Well, Geoff, why don't you tell us how this partnership between your company, A1 Tool, and Leyden got started, and also tell us a bit about the key elements of the partnership that you've created.
Yeah, again, Doug, I want to thank you also for inviting us on this podcast. Yeah, the key elements for how did the partnership start originally was we had been searching I moved here from Wisconsin and took over A1 Tool in 1993, and I had spent many years trying to look for trade schools and programs down here to help develop my workforce. We had spent quite a bit of time training individuals, and one day I heard about this program at East Leyden, and got the opportunity to go over and meet the teachers, and saw that they had a machining program, and it occurred to me, you know, just again that it was really a great fit. The school had a very diverse population. There's a lot of the kids there that you know, maybe that they could benefit from an alternative to college. And the other thing that was great is we had the support of the administration, and which was obviously necessary to make a program go further. And then also the benefits of a teacher recommending a student to us. So we've been working with them. We have students that come here and work during the summer, and it gives us an opportunity to get to know them, and they get to know us, and it has benefited our company greatly. So that's basically how it got started with us. The program was in existence. We've been, I believe, a member for about 15 years, and I think it's been in existence for close to 20 years. So.
Okay. Well, thank you.
So one of the ways that we engage with A1 Tool formally is through our advisory council. It is a very active organization. It's made up of local manufacturers and teachers, and we meet monthly, and we do everything. We go over curriculum, we go over equipment, and one of our routine matters of business is, you know, are there any job openings, and actually drilling down the candidates to make sure that we have the right candidate going to the right company. And that's been something that's been very helpful for us as educators to to refine our curriculum to make sure that we're hitting the target that our local community expects. And then also great for the students to make sure that we're placing them in a positive experience where they're really going to benefit and they're going to get that high wage, high skill, high demand position, which is just awesome for a comprehensive high school like us.
So you're actually placing students in permanent jobs?
It's a variety of experiences. So it starts with mini internships. So even over their spring break, instead of playing Nintendo in their basement, we'll give them job opportunities like at A1. And so they'll get a taste of it there. There's also things like on-site field trips so they can really see what the environment's like, that it's not dark and dingy. And then at the end of that pathway, the end of the pipeline, being a comprehensive high school, we want students to go into really successful high-wage employment opportunities like the ones that A1 tool provides.
Okay, great. Well, were there any hurdles you had to overcome in getting this really important partnership going? Why don't you tell us a bit about that? You want to continue, Frank?
Absolutely. I'd say this is not unique to Leyden, but this is something that's a challenge, I think, for any manufacturing sector, and that is the perception of manufacturing, that it's dark and dingy, when in reality it's high tech and reflects much more a modern office space than it does a manufacturing site. And so, we're always trying to push back against that perception. And we work with parents and students, and then even within our own school system to make sure that that message is being countered. We have something called Leyden Parent University, and that's for the parents to inform them about some of the credentialing opportunities and employment opportunities that our students have once they leave Leyden and while they're at Leyden. For our students, we have some of the things I just mentioned, like our field trips and our mini internships that really just give students a taste before graduation. And when we go on those trips, we want to make sure that not just the metalworking teacher is there, but we grab a variety of teachers and counselors. That way, the knowledge of those opportunities are spread across the district. I think another challenge was getting the first couple of students to A1 Tool. Again, fighting that perception that's out there is one thing, but I think the other thing is just a lack of familiarity for students. They're pretty used to hanging out at the mall and retail spaces, and that is, something that they see all the time. But it's not often that students, especially younger students, get to be on the floor of an active manufacturing facility or go to a business park. And so there's that familiarity that we had to get through. And, for us, we had just a couple of students that were the right fit, that were just, they were ready to take on a new challenge, that they didn't really, they knew about the content, they kind of knew what they were getting into. And once we had those first couple of students there, we had that critical mass that we could get the rest of the students to follow and be a little bit more comfortable and have that be more the norm. And so that was very helpful to have those first couple of students get through to A1.
Good.
And eventually we got to the point where the capacity was there, where we had a lot of companies ask us for employment. But unfortunately, we had not enough seniors. So we had not enough seniors graduating, but we had local companies like A1 Tool asking us for their best and brightest. And that's when Dr. Polyak came in with his bold initiative to build out a metals lab at our West Campus. Prior to that, we only had a metals lab at our East Campus, and we'd have students bus over from the West Campus to our East Campus. And because of a variety of different constraints on the student schedule and blocking out additional courses, that was never really taken advantage of to the full capacity that it should have been. And so we built out a metals lab at our West Campus, and that has more than doubled the capacity of the metalworking program and really helped not just Leyden and its students and those opportunities, but also our local companies because we're able to provide more skilled students to our local employers.
Great. Well, thanks, Frank. Let's talk about concrete, practical benefits of this partnership. And why don't we start with you, Geoff, on the A1 side. What's it meant for you, this partnership with Leyden?
having a relationship with a school and a teacher has provided us with wonderful young men and women that they first of all we get the opportunity to have a teacher recommend a student, so they know this person, they know they're that they're to school on time and that they are doing a good job at school. So just right out of the gate, that allows us just to get a good person in here, somebody that we know that we can build on. We then are able to expose that person to what we do. We manufacture plastic injection molds. They get an opportunity to see how a mold is built and decide whether or not it is a career that may benefit them. The students, what they would get is the potential to have a job that they are getting paid to learn, and the job really, in the end, they can take many different career paths. They can become a toolmaker. They can become a CNC machinist. They could become a programmer, maybe even potentially own a shop someday, and earn a great living for the future.
It sounds like A1 Tool is doing pretty well. You're sort of in a growth mode?
Yes, we have been, and a lot of that today in manufacturing. Again, there is a great need for people. A lot of people are not aware of all of the benefits and all of the need for people. So I would say that we are ahead of the curve due to our relationship with Leyden. Getting people in here, we have probably, I'm going to guess, about 20 people that have graduated from Leyden over the past years that are currently employed here at A1 Tool.
Oh, that's great. Out of how many employees?
We have approximately 85 employees.
Oh, well, that's great. So 20, some have come from Leyden.
That is correct.
And I was fascinated because obviously that screening element is tremendously important. So you have teachers actually vouching for the people coming from Leyden to your company.
Which has benefited us greatly because, we're getting people that, again, the teacher's recommendation allows us to get a better person, which means our retention rate is a lot greater.
Great. Now, we talked about what's involved in this partnership between Leyden and A1 Tool and the challenges you've had to face in developing it and the practical benefits. Why don't we close, Nick, by you telling us a bit about what you're doing to keep this partnership healthy and to sustain it.
Sure. Doug, I just finished my 4th year here at Leyden. When I got here, I was intrigued by the partnership that existed, and it's been in place for decades. And so one of the things I was able to do is go visit some of these partner companies like A1 and see them in action, see what the job is about, see what it looks like and feels like. And that's when we came back and decided to double our program and add the second lab. So, we've had this problem of scale. We can't produce enough ready students to fill all the open jobs in the area. And so we said, let's see if we can do more. Let's see if there's more kids that would like to do this. Let's open up our capacity. And so, the partnership continues to meet monthly. That's a big part of sustainability. We work with those partner companies to help us find grants and purchase machinery that's going to be reflective of current industry floors so that our kids aren't training on old machinery. They're training on the things that are going to be in the jobs that they can get. And that's important to us. And so how do we sustain it? Word of mouth from students. When a kid gets a job and they tell their friends, do you know what I'm making per hour? and then other kids want to do it. We keep taking kids over there for tours. We keep doing apprenticeship and employment opportunities, and then just talk about it as much as we can. I think this partnership is one of the things we're proudest about at Leyden, and we tell everybody that'll listen because we think it's the way we need to do things.
Well, thanks a lot, Geoff, Nick, and Frank, for this fascinating look at the partnership you built between Leyden and A1 Tool. Appreciate your time, gentlemen, and your insights, and have a great afternoon.